This is 91.1 FM KLSU SaintParty. Here, talking to Crizzly this fine evening.
Howdy.
He just finished playing a phenomenal set at the House of Blues in New Orleans. I believe Big Gigantic's taking the stage in there right now.
Yeah, they're setting up.
So, let's get this started here. Okay, with the age of the internet bringing electronic music to parts of the world where it's never been a presence before, live events are starting to turn up all over the country. What sorts of advice would you offer for people who are trying to create, like, shows in their area or actual projects to, like, bring in music?
Well, appearances have a lot to do with everything. Gotta know how to use Facebook nowadays. It's all on the internet. Yeah, it takes a good marketing team to put something together and get something going.
Okay. I was looking through interviews and videos that you've done before, and I managed to find a video of you just like posted up with like a little booth, I believe, in a like open air market, I think in San Antonio. Have you done a lot of street music in your time? Yeah,
at the beginning definitely, because there was nowhere to play really in San Antonio besides like rock venues and stuff. Especially since I was so young, you know, I was like 16, and I didn't like know half the business, but I was, you know, just trying to play wherever I could, and for like as big of a crowd as I could. And yeah, it was like 2 days before Christmas, and I was at the outdoor mall, like you said, like La Cantera is what it's called. And yeah, I just set up like guerrilla style, set up in like 5 minutes, and just like blasted some crazy songs, and people freaked out.
Did you get a good response or a mixed response?
It was extremely mixed.
Oh, really?
But the police didn't stop me right away. They were just like staring at me like, what's he doing right now? Is he really doing that? But
were you just like running an extension cord somewhere? Did you bring out a generator?
No, we got an extension. And we found the plug like the night before, like in a bush. And we're like, perfect. We got this.
Nice. Scouting it out.
They removed it ever since. So.
They didn't want you coming back after that? Oh, okay. Let's see. Have you been doing any sort of work with radio or anything as electronic music is starting to get out there, broadcasted to the masses? Like lots of people do podcasts. You have like your Crump Stick mixtape that's out there.
Yeah, there's a really good radio station in Austin, 101X. Yeah, they do really good at supporting the scene, supporting everyone locally. But they're good friends of mine. Yeah, we've collabed on a couple things.
See, do you feel that crunk music or electronic music more generally is going to be getting bigger on the radio at this point?
I mean, it already has been getting bigger. I mean, who knows how much bigger it'll get, but I'd say it's pretty mainstream right now. I mean, there's dubstep on all the commercials now, you know, and like, it's everywhere. You can't get away from it.
Okay. Let's see, the tracks that you've released so far are, I believe, mostly remixes and edits. Have you considered doing any sort of like collaborative projects? Or?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, I've collabed on a couple tracks with people, like a Chain Hangwell one with AFK, Logan. We've collabed on some stuff, unreleased, but yeah.
Are there any like hip hop guys you're trying to do songs with?
Definitely, yeah, definitely a lot of rappers. Trying to hit up all the people in Texas who put on, you know, in the past. Who are still putting on. Yeah, I just worked with Lil Flip at a show. That was a lot of fun. We collabed. Came up on stage, did a live performance. So that was pretty dope. Like one of my biggest inspirations is coming on stage and performing like over my remix. It was great. It was real.
Nice.
Yeah. Super inspirational.
Touring with Big Gigantic. Have you worked on any material with them?
Yeah, we worked on something in the hotel room the other day. Dom has a really good idea for like making a trap tune with the sax, and I think it would be totally easy to do.
Just making sure it's still going.
Yeah.
I never really trust my technology.
Yeah.
Have you been doing more trap music these days?
Yeah, definitely. Like the end of Chain Hangwell, it's a little more trap.
Yeah.
I have a lot of edits and a lot of unreleased stuff that I play out. It's like trap, but it's still like, I try to make my own style, you know, I'm not trying to imitate a lot of people. It's really hard though, because you hear a dope-ass trap song and you're like, oh, I want to make something like that, but you can't really, you know, make something exactly like it, or else you're not really doing yourself justice. justice. But you know, I'm trying to make some trap. I'm just trying to keep it original as much as I can.
Let's see. You've talked about using Ableton before. Is that still how you do your shows?
No, I use Tractor. I use Ableton to make music.
You compose your songs in Ableton. Do you use Massive, or do you have any other like VSTs that you're really big into?
Silent, one of them. Vector.
Secrets, bro.
Dude, I know. I can't. Actually, I can't. That's my manager. Tour manager just told me I can't say anything. So sorry.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Effectrix is really good. All the Waves plugins, Wow filter, you know, Camel Fat, all those effects plugins and stuff.
Okay. Do you expect that the upcoming release of Live 9 is going to at all end up altering the kind of work you do?
Yeah, it might help it. If anything, I just hope it doesn't crash as much. But my Ableton's been crashing a lot lately, so I need to. Hopefully, they fix that in 9. I don't know. I bought mine, so I hope they fix a lot of things.
Okay. Let's see. As your live shows have grown over the time that you've been learning your way and bigger through electronic music, what sort of hardware have you gone through? Like, did you start with something simple, or have you just still been using the same piece?
For making music? Or?
For performing.
Yeah, oh, sorry. I'm tired. I need Red Bull. Where is it? I started off on CDs. I used CDs with Tractor after that. And then I moved to just Tractor with Stanton controller, some type of touch thing. I can't remember what it's called. But once I went MIDI, I just felt like that was way easier. Because it's really nice having a MIDI controller, especially in Texas. Because a lot of the bars don't have CDJs. It's not like at every bar. So like if I wanted to play somewhere, like even on this tour, we would have to bring like our own CDJs, which would have been a hassle to set up every time. But now I can just like throw my laptop on a table, a MIDI controller, I'm good to go. It's pretty simple setup. But I just like the fact that I can set up anywhere I want to, like relatively easy. It just kind of sucks carrying on the plane every time. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Okay. As a promoter of crunk and having played in New Orleans before, how do you like live shows in New Orleans?
They're awesome. People get ratchet in New Orleans. New Orleans is Ratchet City.
That's a good one. I've heard this place called a lot of things. I think you're the first one to call it Ratchet City. So you've described that one of your biggest influential moments in music were the animated music video series done by Daft Punk and Gorillaz that aired on cartoon networks like Late Night Toonami thing back in the day. Do you incorporate music from either of those groups into your shows these days?
Yeah, I mean, I used to more when I was like 15, when I made like acoustic stuff, or 14, younger. I was just making like weird acoustic things with guitar pedals and just kind of like shoegazer music. But right now, I don't necessarily like use a whole lot of elements they did. I mean, maybe they slip in there sometimes, but I don't know. I don't really. I'm paying attention to more like stuff I was brought up when I was like in middle school. Like I started listening to dance more often, and that's what really kind of propelled me to make music. Like when I could hear like weird effects, which I don't know if Gorillaz and Daft Punk really did that. I mean, Daft Punk definitely did that actually, but Gorillaz not so much. But yeah, I would take from Daft Punk, I guess, that like kind of repetitiveness, or just like where it repeats and you're waiting for the next part, like that kind of vibe. I definitely take from other than that.
Have you ever considered following in the animation footsteps of either group? Like,
Yeah, I want to, but you know, it's hard planning all that together. I think that's one of the biggest things like you got to do if you're like trying to sell yourself. You got to plan everything out and set yourself up for success. And I don't know, I just haven't found like an artist who would be willing to work full time like drawing stuff for me. But yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be cool.
and do you otherwise have any plans for making music videos in the near future?
Yeah, oh yeah, I have a lot of ideas. It's just a matter of doing it. I mean, like planning that stuff, setting it up. But you know, I want to do it when it counts. I don't want to just do it randomly. I want it to be meaningful, to work.
You've given lots of shout-outs to sleep before. What's the craziest dream you've ever had?
Yeah, well, I just had a crazy dream last night. It was like the Winter Olympics. I think it was in Denver. I don't know. It was like in the mountains, snowing, you know. And they, you know how they built like a bird's nest in China, like for the stadium. Well, they built like a giant log cabin in my dream, and the log cabin caught on fire, and everyone was just like running, trying to get out of there. But like the only way you could get there was like through like a sky rail. So like people were just like stuck on the mountain, like in the cold or like just like in the fire. So it got really crazy, and tried to escape, but you know, I don't know. I think we ended up going on the top, very top of the mountain, and like I can't remember what happened, but it was definitely like end of the world, and like all like the military was fighting, and it was epic. It was pretty epic.
Yeah. And what was the hardest obstacle you had to overcome to become a full-time musician?
Hardest obstacle? Just I mean, just quitting my job was the biggest step, or like quitting college, both of those, you know. I quit my job last, I'm pretty sure. 'Cause, I mean, school was really hard with like gigs and trying to make music, but it definitely inspired me to make more music because I didn't have enough time.
Were you studying anything musical at the time?
I mean, I took music theory classes in college, but I mean, I was in band in high school and stuff. But no, I wasn't really taking any music classes, so I was basically wasting my time. But, and I knew I wanted to do music, but it was just like, I don't know. I'm not meant for school. I can't do it. I don't like it.
And then one last question to finish this off. Do you have a lucky number?
4 and or 10.
Well, this has been SaintParty here with Crizzly. Thank you one more time. Could you tell us how much you love 91.1 KLSU?
I love 91.1 KLSU so much that I would get ratchet on a bar stool in the middle of Bourbon Street for y'all. Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot for your time, man. It's been great talking to you.
Yeah, it might happen tonight.
Awesome.
Cool. All right.
Swag.